Okay, so hi everybody. Gretchen Aubuchon here at High Point Market, and we are here with the fabulous trio here: Thom Filicia, Lela Rose, and Siriano. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much for coming here to chat with us.
You all look fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to be here. I've never been to High Point.
Me neither.
This is going to be just eye candy.
You guys are both virgins.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Are they going to be
It's very
overwhelmed or what?
overwhelming. It's very overwhelming. I'm just prepare yourself to be overwhelmed.
So
Celery.
I prepared like private tours at some of the showrooms after, just because this is my second time, but it is.
Yeah, it's
It's
I
Crazy.
think it's my like 7th or 8th, and I'm just feeling
It's
like
Furniture
I got it.
Fashion Week now.
Right, but
Sort
what
of
I
now.
think is fun is all these designers that are here, and you see names, and
Yes.
you see people that you know their names, you know their work, and I think that makes it very exciting to have a group of designers in one area and all showing their product. I mean, I think it's
Right.
pretty darn exciting.
No, it is. It's very exciting, and I will say that I think that High Point has, and even just in the 4 years that I've been really involved with High Point, it's really changing every year, and it's becoming much more. I mean, the interior design world and the product world in interior design has really sort of stepped up
Right.
to this sort of to technology. It's really becoming faster, like you were saying earlier
Right.
about fashion. So when you think about how fashion is really moving so much faster, interiors has starting to sort of become a little bit a part of that.
But we're doing street spotting.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, that's
Oh,
another
that's
thing
fun.
that I'm, we're
Taking
wondering,
from the
like,
fashion world. Right.
is next, in April or next October, are we going to have, paparazzi outside the doors of the theater, like snapping? I just wonder if it's just, it's something that is.
Well, it's
I don't necessarily know if it needs, if it should be that way though, is my feeling.
Yeah.
Because I think it could, or maybe it could get to a level, but also you have to think about, I mean, interior spaces are what they are. They're in your home, which is kind of your sanctuary place.
Private,
where
too,
clothing
maybe.
is really worn to be out in the open, to put on this kind of almost persona that you're kind of living your life in. So I don't know, it may be kind of nice that it's a bit more, a bit more
Private.
about
Yeah.
the business, the
Private.
designers, the creativity, but in a more subdued way. Sometimes Fashion Week becomes more of a hyped party when really you just want people to look at the clothes, and sometimes it gets overlooked. I mean, I feel that way, which is a frustrating thing. So I don't necessarily know if it needs to go
That's such
that
a good
way.
point. With all these connections between fashion and home decor, there are the fashion brands that, many are doing it that are moving into the home. I mean, you want to go into tabletop.
Right.
So
Well, I have
it's,
my
is
specific-
there,
Yes.
are we going to see, a home furnishing company jump into fashion? I mean, do we see that happening in the future? Is that?
I would take someone like Kelly Wearstler, who is probably, for me, one of, I remember, just her interior spaces are so filled with fashion already, and so I think that she's a good example, because I think what she does in her collections is still very interior design driven. I mean, down to her, how she puts her in-store product is so, the hangers, everything about it is very of an interior space. So I think she does a great job at it. So I think it's open to be that way. Which I think
exciting.
if we're allowed to go in their world, they should be able to come in our world.
Right.
They're just
the cycle, traditionally it's been that 6-year lag supposedly that maybe went down to a 2-year, and now do we see kind of these two industries more on the same page? Because I know just going to Fashion Week in September and some of the trends of stripes and denim and floral and oranges, are here this week.
Right.
So I'm wondering if that lag has disappeared, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's together.
I don't know if it necessarily has disappeared. I think it's tightening. I think that it's getting closer. I think that with technology, and I think that today I think people are looking for more immediate solutions for their homes than they were maybe 20 years ago. And I do think that we were talking about this earlier, is that the consumer is a much savvier person.
Yeah.
Really
I
knows
love when
more
you
about
said that.
fashion, knows more about design, knows more about really the world of lifestyle as a whole. They know more about food, they know more about travel. So they're really coming into, whether it's fashion or interiors, they're looking at product in a much a smarter way, and they're expecting more from their product. And I think that they're coming into these sort of ideas with really already with color palettes probably in their mind, and they're going into it thinking that that they're looking for things that they specifically want. One of the things I think that's interesting about fashion right now is that they're really we were talking about you'll see straight leg jeans next to wide leg jeans. It's like people are looking for things that that personalize them, that they feel connected to. It's not really so much about trends.
They need it all.
And I think that
trends don't
that is
drive
more
as much.
similar to the interior world. I think fashion is blurring with interiors in that way, because you'll come to High Point, there's very modern, there's very traditional, there's contemporary, there's sort of this bridge market. So people go to the specific areas that they like, and I think in fashion it's becoming more and more like that as well, where
less trend driven.
Less trend driven and more about your personal aesthetic. What do you love? And if you love this is what we have to sort of sort of satisfy that need.
Thank you all so much for
Yes.
chatting with us. We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's great.
I love
Thank
seeing
you.
fashion and decor together here at High Point. Thank
Yeah.
you.